This video is sponsored by Squarespace. When I rolled credits on Pokopia, I felt deep despair. Yeah, the cozy life simulation Pokemon spin-off game where you build little habitats for Pokemon and befriend them and watch them munch on berries. That game gave me an existential crisis. This isn't abnormal for Pokemon games or anything. A lot of them have deep, hard-hitting stories that are engineered to hit you right in your feels. But I wasn't really expecting Pokopia to take the ecological disaster, humans destroy everything we touch angle. Not at all. Pokopia's story is devastating. I haven't been able to stop thinking about it. In Pokopia, we play as Ditto, transformed to look like a human that is meant to resemble our human trainer. But where is our human trainer? The only other being inhabiting this desolate world is Professor Tangrowth and a random Squirtle. I love that Tangrowth's like, yeah, like I haven't seen Pokemon or human in years. And then all of a sudden we walk outside one time and there's just like a Squirtle. And now all of a sudden Pokemon just start popping up everywhere, which is strange because this world was technically abandoned before we got here. Professor Tangrowth was all alone. There were no humans, no other Pokemon this whole time, just him all by his lonesome. But this wasn't always the case. Humans and Pokemon used to live together and thrive in this world. Professor Tangrowth had a human, but he can't remember what happened to them. We had a trainer, but we don't know what happened to them either, since we just Ditto Splat appeared in this world randomly. What caused the world to be like this? Did the humans get bombed or something? How did that happen to the Pokemon Center? Professor Tangrowth has a theory. Since we've been learning all of these new moves and restoring all of these habitats, Pokemon have been returning. So if we keep attracting new Pokemon, perhaps it'll be the same for humans. Naturally, a good place to start would be to rebuild the Pokemon Center from the rubble. We'll also raise the environment level by creating more habitats, moving in more Pokemon, crafting furniture for them, and improving the overall living conditions. We gotta fix this place up. As we progress, we meet lots of new Pokemon who either teach us new moves or lend us their skills to help us on our epic journey. This game blew my mind with its size and scale on day one. But at this point, I don't even know the half of it. Our only method for uncovering this mystery is through human records. Little notes and diaries lying around the world that help us piece together the story. The first one we discover is Professor's Diary number 2. My grandchild plays with Tangela a lot these days. First of all, excuse my pronunciation of Tangela. It didn't even occur to me until very recently that it's probably Tangela, you know, because the tangles. Who the hell is Tangela? Tangela shows interest in any and all human activities. When I'm working on the computer, he stares intently at my screen with a curious expression. Trainers who come to visit me also play with Tangela, and Tangela seems intrigued by the items they use. He looks enthralled by things like Pokedexes and Pokeballs. Are all Tangela brimming with curiosity, or is just this little one special? So naturally, we can infer that this professor was Professor Tangrowth's human trainer. Are professors considered trainers? Like, are all humans that have Pokemon considered trainers? We'll just say it was his human, I guess. Most human records that we encounter aren't super relevant to the main story, but they aid in the world building of it all. And some of them give you cute little cosmetics, which is fun. The next character that we're introduced to through these records is Team R Grunt. Team Rocket was here! I've decided to give this social media thing a whirl. Today's my first go at it. Why? To bring in new recruits for our organization. We may not be the heroes of the story as far as most people are concerned. To be completely honest, we're kind of the villains. But if you forget about all the rules and common sense and stuff, we live how we want to live. And I think that makes us a pretty fun organization. They're just living their truth. Like, we're slowly adding to our cast of human characters through the discovery of these notes. I'm a fan of a little story trickle. I prefer, honestly, when I don't have all the information spelled out for me right away. It's super fun that we get to stumble upon these diaries as we explore. No two players will see the same human records in the same order. Probably. I mean, I can't totally guarantee that. Sure, most of the human records are going to be plopped right in front of our faces when they need to be, but there's still a bit of randomness to it. I would like to take you along with me as I uncovered Pokopia's story. A lot of craziness definitely went down on this planet. A lot of drama with those humans. You know what doesn't have to be drama? Creating a website using today's sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace helps take the stress of creating a website off of your plate, which can be needlessly difficult, by the way. And not everybody has the time, the energy, the skills to build a website from the ground up. So why not make it easy? Squarespace has plenty of professional, clean templates for just about any type of website that not only look so good, but it's really easy to personalize each template to your specific needs. Take my website, for example, listthelass.com. Ooh, she's so shiny. She looks so good. You would think I spent hours on this thing. No, I didn't. For those that are looking for even more customization, Squarespace also offers Squarespace Blueprint, where you basically go in, decide on your theming, pick all your pretty fonts and your colors, and decide what pages you want. And within seconds, it will create the perfect, most personalized template just for you. Sell products with tons of popular payment methods. Have your clients schedule appointments and send them invoices directly through your Squarespace site. You can provide memberships and sell online courses, set up newsletters. Squarespace just has a ton of features for any type of business owner or a website haver. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. Go check it out. Pick out a nice little template. When you're ready to launch, head to squarespace.com/listthelast or use my code listthelast and you will get 10% off of your very first purchase of a website or domain. Now, let's go figure out what happened to these humans. This first day was a chock full of exploration and quests. One thing of note, we discovered a beach on the south side of the map with a mysterious structure, lighthouse, power plant, perhaps? We don't know yet, but it talks. Excuse me, you there. Welcome to our hideout. You look like a real hero, and you know, a real nice guy. But wait, whoever hears this might not be a guy. Forget the last part. It's a recording. And believe me, all of us have pure and worthy hearts too. After all, we're a business that uses Pokemon. We're an organization that works hard to improve the environment for the sake of all Pokemon. And we're fun and independent. Oh, is this Team R? The Team R that we've heard so much about? This is where we do the Team Initiation Challenge quest. Throughout our adventure, we'll need to turn in items here to unlock the next steps of the challenge. For what? Well, to be initiated into the team, I suppose. The items it requests are tied to our general progression. Like right now, it's asking me to bring it vegetables. I don't know how to get those yet, so we'll have to come back when we do. The main story quest in this area begins with a conundrum. An Onyx is trapped in a cave. The walls are too hard for Onyx or myself to bust through, so we huddle with the team, the greatest minds of this world, obviously, and decide we need to make it rain in order to soften up the rock. However, it hasn't rained in this area since before the humans disappeared. We need to recruit the help of a slowpoke and escort it all the way over to the Pokemon Center. Very, very slowly. Oh my God. Wait, this is so funny. He's so slow. I really gotta wait for him to walk all the way, and I gotta watch him clip on the stairs like 6 more times. Now the real quest begins. It's time to make it humid. We need to raise Slowpoke's yawn from 70 points all the way up to 100. Their yawn, of course, determines the humidity level. Duh. If we get it humid enough, it should start to rain. After all of our efforts that include watering dry ground, growing flowers with Bulbasaur, and throwing a rain dance party with Squirtle, it starts raining for 2 seconds. And then it stops. Yeah. Bam! Kyogre's here. Our first legendary Pokemon encounter. What's that now? You say it won't rain? The humans were making a real fuss, you see, so I headed down to the quiet ocean floor for a good long nap. But I suppose that made it stop raining here, huh? Sure, I'm sorry about that. Wait a minute, I only woke up because I felt rain splashing on the surface of the water. Did y'all do something to make it rain? Oh no, guys! Kyogre's Texan. The speech patterns of the Pokemon throughout the game has cracked me up. My favorite is Magikarp saying, yo. So random, I love it. Withered Wasteland, more like wet wasteland, am I right? Okay, now we're able to bust Onyx out of the cave and continue our efforts to rebuild this damn Pokemon Center. Kyogre gave us a little snippet of info that I've been pondering. The humans were causing a fuss? I wonder what that could mean. What kind of fuss? Personally, I am causing a fuss all the time, so I'm gonna need more details. My second day playing Pokopia was when shit got real. This is when it was revealed to me that the world gets bigger. There's these gates on different sides of this area, Withered Wasteland, that lead to more areas, completely different towns with different biomes, more quests, and Pokemon centers to rebuild. Today we discovered Bleak Beach, an abandoned harbor town, and Rocky Ridge, a former mining town now covered in ash, thanks to the giant volcano smack dab in the middle of it. it. Guys, maybe we shouldn't build a town at the base of an active volcano, but what do I know? Now, I've played some Pokemon games throughout my life, but I have quite a blind spot when it comes to Kanto, the region that this game is based off of. I didn't get into Pokemon until like 4th grade with Diamond and Pearl, Sinnoh Supremacy. So pretty late then, I guess. Is that late? I don't know. Everybody I tell that to says that I got into Pokemon late. I do think that that is just unk mentality. Yeah, man, like everything was better when you were a kid. Kids these days just like, they don't even know. Okay, Grandpa, it's time to start looking at retirement homes. Over the years, I have played a decent amount of the new releases, but there's definitely more games that I haven't played. And I never went back in time. I know, okay? Thank you, Grandpa. I missed peak. Yeah, we know. Pretty sure I've never actually played any games set in the Kanto region where it all started. My only knowledge of it is really from the show. They did just re-release Fire Red and Leaf Green on Switch. Perfect timing with Pokopia, honestly. They ate with that. But I didn't play it. And you definitely don't need to have played games set in Kanto in order to fully appreciate Pokopia or anything. Definitely not what I'm saying, but I have some questions about what's going on in Pokopia. I need to consult an expert. And who better to ask than my Poke Nerd boyfriend? Everybody say hi to Alex, the biggest Pokemon fan that I know.
Self-proclaimed.
I need you to tell me what games are set in Kanto.
Kanto? God, that's like every game. We got red, we got blue, green, only in Japan, yellow, the Johto games, if you count their post games, gold, silver, crystal, heart gold, soul silver. We got fire red, leaf green, recently dropping on the Nintendo Switch.
Okay, plug.
Let's go Pikachu and Eevee.
Wow.
And then it's spin-off city. Kanto's everywhere, as far as the eye can see.
Okay, that is a lot of information. So each area in Pokopia is based off of a city in Kanto. Can you tell me what Withered Wasteland is based off of?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Withered Wastelands is confirmed to be based on Fuchsia City, famously home of the Safari Zone and the poison-type gym leader Koga and his Venomoth.
And then Bleak Beach is...
Vermilion City.
And what about Rocky Ridge?
Pewter City.
Yeah, baby. And then there is one more, but we'll get to that later. Thank you for your time. Don't go anywhere. I have so many more questions.
Okay. Seated.
So I encountered all of these new areas and immediately felt so overwhelmed. I just didn't know this was going to be happening. I was playing right when the game released, so I didn't even know that there was going to be more than what's in Withered Wasteland. My hands are full dealing with all the shenanigans over there. I did a little toe dipping into both Bleak Beach and Rocky Ridge. We unflooded a Meowth's house. Machoke taught us strength so we could move large objects. We discovered this game also has cooking that powers up moves. We had to lead a Torkoal to the Rocky Ridge Pokemon Center, just like we did with Slowpoke. Oh my god, they did it twice. And then a Greedent named Chef Dente needed to be freed from a barrel. Like, there's a lot going on. And to top it all off, there's also a complete sandbox area past a cycling road where you can play multiplayer. Yes, I found Pallet Town today. Like, damn, let me breathe a little. I can't believe there's even more I haven't seen. But it's not like I didn't do any exploring in my first visits. Bleak Beach, less so. I kind of got in and out of there. I progressed far more in Rocky Ridge and found a ton of human records. Team R, Grunt's journal number 4. Let me tell you all about what happened while I was looking for Leppa berries to try and complete this mission for the boss. There's been a bunch of extreme weather or whatever recently that's killing off all the trees, but I finally found a tree that still had berries on it. But as soon as I started shaking the tree to get the berries off, some super serious lady came up and started yelling at me. She was like, "Those are not for you. They're for Pokemon. Blah, blah, blah." She was so annoying. But something else she said was actually kind of interesting. Apparently, she's making an app to get a bunch of people to work together and create a comfortable environment for Pokemon to live in. Basically, if you do good stuff for the environment, the app will reward you with cool prizes. So you're telling me a woman made all these apps? Happy International Women's Day, everybody. In other words, she's gonna bribe people to work for her by promising them cool stuff. Not a bad idea. And that gave me a great idea. I bet I could complete that mission the boss gave me by doing kind of the same thing. Oh, I am on the edge of my seat. The next human record I found was Pokolife Dev Diary number 4. Our first record from the Pokolife Dev, and most definitely the human who Team R Grunt had that berry drama with. We've developed an app that will allow all members of our society participate in creating a comfortable environment for Pokemon and humans. The budget and staff required to accomplish this feat were provided by the Foundation, and the app can be accessed by anyone via Pokemon Center PC. Participants can start with easy tasks, watering dry ground, planting the seeds, anything that will please nearby Pokemon. It's my first time developing an app, and it was quite the challenge. However, with the help of many talented collaborators, we finally succeeded. The name of the app, get ready, is Pokolife. What jumps out at me is the mention of extreme weather by Team R Grunt. We could definitely tell that some sort of disaster happened, but was it human caused? Pokemon caused? Climate related? It's not exactly clear yet. Also, it's cool that we know more context about the app that we're using in the PCs to earn coins and purchase items. I wonder how the dev ties into this greater story. The next relevant human record I encountered was in the hot spring in Rocky Ridge. Pokolife Dev Diary number 2. These are the guys who made the app, or should I say the girls who made the app. Like-minded individuals have been slowly joining my cause as I continue to create homes for Pokemon. I greatly appreciate the support those individuals provide, but we have all begun to grow tired as the meteorological anomalies and resulting natural disasters continue to worsen. We need more time and we need more help. There's meteors that hit the earth and there's natural disasters, and that's why there's no people and no Pokemon. They all got dinosaured. Now, I'm only joking. I was making a cheeky little joke, but clearly I am not a comedian. There was no punchline, actually. Damn it. Meteorological means weather related. Now we're certain that there were ecological disasters that caused humans and the Pokemon to disappear. But like, did they die? I'm not trying to be morbid or be dramatic, but it's a real question that is answered by this very human record that we're reading right now, if we continue reading. I have recently begun hearing rumors that there are plans to temporarily evacuate all of humanity into space. If these rumors are true, does that mean that all of our efforts have been in vain? My collaborators seem anxious as well. Perhaps they are of the same mind as I. Okay, insane lore drop. Let's go. Wow. And then they left all the Pokemon here to just die. Well, we don't know the whole story yet. So far, we know that there were climate disasters of unknown origin, and then humanity packed up and left for space, possibly? Oh my god, the humans, they got wallied, or the Pokemon got wallied, technically. Well, okay, Wally was the one that was left behind. I don't know if I need to explain. I think you guys know what I mean. Much to think about. Back in Withered Wasteland, we stumbled upon a mine where we get to hear from our hacker for the first time. If a disaster of that scale had really happened, surely it would have received both local and global attention. With that thought, I remembered a foundation active in that region. They were known for this passion for Pokemon conservation efforts. I'd even donate to them. Thought an organization of that scale might be able to influence media so that no news of the disaster leaked out of this region. I spent countless days infiltrating the foundation servers, looking into any data I could lay my hands on. Sure enough, it gradually became clear that they were involved. I finally fell asleep after repeated all-nighters. When I woke up, I was surrounded by members of the foundation. Y'all, I don't know. I don't really understand the implications of all this, but it seems that we have a hacker in our midst. Our newest character, Freaky Hacker Chick. Well, I don't know their gender, but I am envisioning a freaky hacker chick. Seems like they were snooping for more information on the disaster, got caught by the Foundation. Remember the Foundation? They were donating to Pokolife. Oh gosh, there's a big conspiracy, guys. Also, the Team R Grunt got their account suspended because they're a part of a criminal organization. And they got arrested. Damn, the feds are crazy in Kanto. Although I've been running around like a chicken with my head cut off, I did manage to rebuild my very first Pokemon Center. Withered Wasteland, more like we got buildings now. Wasteland, Wonderland. Inside of our newly constructed Pokemon Center is a Hoot Hoot merchant, a 3D printer, not kidding, and a place to heal. All very great, but there's also a new human record. How did nobody see this during the reconstruction? Someone's journal, number 1. I just got back from depositing my partner Pokemon in the PC at the Pokemon Center. We spent every day together. Being separated like this is so hard, but I know we'll meet again someday. I'm sure of it. I'll need to evacuate with the others pretty soon, but first I'm planning to go take one last look at all the cities my partner and I visited together. It's hard to explain why, but I feel I need to do this. Dude, this story is so like ominous. Somebody's identity is still a mystery to us. We'll learn more about them them later, but God, yeah, this is sad. Even though we completed our big overarching goal in Withered Wasteland, there's still a good amount of side quests to do. We can also continue our restoration efforts, raise the environment level, and start tidying the place up, but it's actually not the best idea until you progress through the story more. It will become much easier to rebuild, in case you didn't know already. So even though my little decorating heart wants to start tearing everything up, it's not time yet. We are headed to Rocky Ridge.
Rocky Ridge is based on / used to be Pewter City.
Right.
Any fun facts about Pewter City?
Pewter City is the first stop on your journey to become Pokemon Master. Brock from the anime, I think everyone's familiar with Brock, is the gym leader. The very first gym, him and his rock-type Pokemon. Pewter City also has a museum. Museum is where you get the cool fossil Pokemon like Ammonite, Kabuto, Aerodactyl later with the red amber. I think there's also like a move tutor and you can get a moonstone, but there's a lot of fun like science-y lore about the Pokemon universe in that museum.
Is there a volcano in the games?
I don't believe there's a volcano. There's a volcano in Gen 3. Oh, there is a volcano on an island far from Pewter City.
What is Mount Moon?
Mount Moon is where the Clefairies hang out. Team Rocket's doing stuff in there.
Damn. That's crazy.
Okay.
Freeing Chef Dente from the barrel was like the halfway point of the main story quest here, and it made me actually quite emotional. When we brought Professor Tangrowth over to inspect the barrel, he got all excited and thought that maybe there would be a human inside. How disappointing that it was a Greedent. But Chef Dente also had a human, a buddy, a chef, the best chef in town, apparently. One day, they and all of the other humans vanished, and now we're gonna help her restore the town so her buddy will return. At this point, I'm like, keep dreaming, girl. Chef Dente's quests have been teaching us how to cook different dishes, and now it's time to learn how to use a frying pan once we learn how to craft one. This led us to explore the volcano for the first time in search of materials and Pokemon to help us on our cooking journey. But dude, again, this is overwhelming. The volcano is huge. I was kinda under the impression up until this point that these new areas would be like maybe smaller than the Withered Wasteland. Nope. Just as big, if not even bigger. There's some human records scattered in the volcano, letters left behind by humans, photos, and another hacker's confession. Apparently, I'd left traces when I hacked the servers. That was enough for them to track me down. Our hacker got found by the government. The people from the Foundation were surprisingly polite and they explained what was happening in detail. I have no intention of writing it all here. The important thing is that someday, this disaster will spread throughout the entire world. They said that humanity in its current state can't prevent it. The Foundation, together with other regions, had formed a plan to evacuate all of humanity into space. The plan was already in motion. My head was spinning at this outrageous tale. We already did know that. They were gonna put all the humans on the moon or something. So what would become of Pokemon? When I put the question to them, they described their Pokemon conservation project and asked for my help. So the hacker and the people who made the Pokemon conservation app that we use daily teamed up, and now they are the Avengers? Okay, see, we shouldn't make such rash judgments until we know all of the information. Maybe the people didn't leave all of the Pokemon behind to rot and die and starve. We need to learn more about this Pokemon conservation project, which we do learn more about upon discovering the museum tucked behind the volcano all the way on the edge of the map. This is where you can really see the volcano's destruction. This place is just covered in ash. There's a research center with an ominous note about a secret project cancellation and a fossil display and a Gimmighoul hanging out. Another yo Pokemon. Very unexpected. Now, I didn't get around to exploring all of the museum, truthfully. This game is a sidetrack ADHD simulator. I was trying to stay focused on my main quest. I'm glad I came though, because this professor's diary I found helped the story come together quite a bit. It was decided that we will take a part in the Pokemon conservation project. They planned to safely store all Pokemon on the planet in a massive computer system while humanity takes refuge in space. I can't be sure that such a thing is even possible, and being parted from our Pokemon will be terribly painful. But this may be the only way that people and Pokemon will be able to live together again someday. So, recap. Humans decided to jump ship from Earth altogether because of the environmental disasters, but they didn't take the Pokemon with them for whatever reason. So they stored the Pokemon in the PCs and planned to come back to maintain the Pokemon conservation system and presumably wait out the disasters. But that doesn't explain why the Pokemon are here now with no humans around. The rest of my time in Rocky Ridge didn't lend much new information. I finished up all my cooking lessons and knocked out the main quest, throw a party. Our newest special character, DJ Rodum, is like, hey guys, your vibes are super off. Let's raise the mood up to 100 points. The main story quests have a pretty cut and dry format in each area, don't they? I don't really mind that so much. I'm down for a little party, except our party is interrupted by a volcanic eruption and another legendary Pokemon appears. Who the hell is this guy? This guy came to ruin my day. A Pokemon I've never seen before appears to be atop that volcano. Will you go talk to them? Do you think the smell of my curry even drew that Pokemon out? Hey, you know what? That's honestly a good theory. Maybe he just wants to party. Maybe my purpose was to actually bring that Pokemon a plate of curry. It's kind of noisy. Does he really just have a noise complaint? Because that's so funny. Whoa, what are you supposed to be? And what's all that noise down there? That you and your friends, bud? You all sound like you're having a good time and with no humans around to help either. I was actually thinking it's kind of nice how quiet it's been without humans around. But you know, a little party ruckus every now and then may not be half bad. Okay, it would have been so funny if he just started like Karening out about the noise. Yeah, it's the HOA. He actually already called the police. They're on their way.
Is Volcanion in these games?
Volcanion.
Why are you laughing?
What's a polar bear doing in Arlington, Texas?
Okay, is there anything that we need to know about Volcanion then?
Volcanion's a mythical Pokemon from Gen 6, Pokemon X and Y. He's uniquely the only fire water type Pokemon.
Ooh.
His whole thing is being like the steam Pokemon. So fire water makes steam. He has a special move called Steam Eruption.
But how come he doesn't have a southern accent like Kyogre?
Kyogre has a southern accent?
Yeah.
Why does Kyogre have a southern accent?
Touche.
And where's Groudon? What's his accent sound like?
Oh, he's not in the game.
Okay, messed up, but I get it.
Damn, that's crazy.
We asked this legendary Pokemon if they know anything about the humans, and well, they actually had some interesting things to say. Never could bring myself to like humans, couldn't care less what they're up to. I bet it's their fault the world's so messed up now. True, honestly, he's kind of spitting. I mean, I guess there might be some good humans too, somewhere out there. They're a tough bunch, you know, can't underestimate them. I'm sure they figured out a way to survive this mess. Yeah, if the humans in the Pokemon universe are anything like us, they probably did have something to do with all this mess. Human accelerated climate change. Damn. That's crazy. All this time, I was kind of teetering on the fence of whether these ecological events would be the fault of humans being humans or a legendary Pokemon acting out. But all the legendaries we've met so far have been like really chill. So I'm just gonna start blaming humans. Do we even want them to come back? Like, I feel like we might be better off without them, guys. I don't know. Sadly, the humans didn't join us this time, but it was clear to me everyone here had a tremendous time. Dog, I do not think they're coming back. While I didn't fully explore Rocky Ridge and surely missed a ton of stuff, it is time to say goodbye and shift our focus to Bleak Beach. We learned new material crafting techniques, got some new moves. This Bravler move is a total game changer, and uncovered a lot about our story. My mind is still racing with all the new information and tasks that I have to complete, but I'm getting it done. Another Pokemon Center down. The next day, it was open for business. It's open. Just like the Wasteland Pokemon Center, we have a human record waiting for us inside. Someone's journal, number 3. A long time ago, this city was packed with people working in the nearby mines. Apparently, it was a pretty lively place. At least that's what I heard from the chef at the little restaurant I visited with Lissy. With who? Wait, what? There's no sign of that restaurant anymore, but I guess it's not surprising given those vicious volcanic eruptions. Who could live in a place like this now? I'm sorry, excuse me, you went to the restaurant with me? The food we had at that restaurant was incredibly delicious the whole time the chef was cooking. Lissy was watching intently. It's always been so full of curiosity. I've noticed it seems particularly interested in the things humans do. I wish we could have traveled together more. There are so many things I wanted to show it. Is this my former trainer? Is this my former trainer who I presume was dead? Well, we don't know if they're dead, but it did not occur to me that someone is our former trainer until this note. And they're returning to all the places that we have memories in before they have to go. That is so sad. Now it's time to do the same thing in Bleak Beach, formerly Vermilion City. This area is where we learn about electricity. It's something that I have been very curious about. There's lots of little lamp posts and electric electrical stuff lying around and I don't know how to use them. That's where our new cast of special Pokemon characters come in. The first one we meet is Smear Guru. This Smeargle is a troubled artist. They recolor items for you after aiding them out of their creative slump. It's kind of irrelevant to the electricity plot, but I thought I should mention Smear Guru since I love them and they are very funny. No, the main special character we will be helping out today is Mosslax, a Snorlax in a cave that has been asleep for so long they started to grow moss. If we could light up the town enough, clear these dark clouds from the sky, and make all their head flowers bloom by getting to 100 bloom points, we'll be able to wake them up to ask about the humans. A Tangrowth, buddy, you gotta let it go. Meanwhile, a few notable Pokemon were discovered here in Bleak Beach. Piplup is helping us clean up the sludge around town. Why is Piplup notable, you may ask? Well, Piplup was my first ever Pokemon. I played Diamond first, remember? A lot of my faves are from that game. Piplup, Bidoof, Starly, even Drifloon. Oh, Drifloon, you do kind of scare me, but you're right. Bidoof is even on my phone case. Wait, why isn't Bidoof in this game? He would have been perfect in Pokopia. Actually, wow, that's really fucked up. We got Torchic on brick making duty. Lapras teaches us surf. Zorua teaches us camouflage. I think this was literally just added to make prop hunt possible, which fair. There was a lot of human records in Bleak Beach, but not much important information in most of them. It was a lot of Vermilion City info, giving us context as to what life was like back in the day.
Who is a Lieutenant Surge?
LT Surge. Him and I go back. He's the electric type gym leader. I actually like this story arc a lot in Gen 1. Ash faces him, loses Pikachu against his Raichu. They believe and gaslight themselves into thinking that they need to evolve Pikachu into Raichu to beat Lieutenant Surge. Later, they come to the conclusion that they can beat Lieutenant Surge without evolving, so they chuck the Thunderstone, they go beat him. It's LT Surge.
And who is Kenzo?
Who?
I don't know. I keep getting human records about all these people. I don't know who they are.
We're making characters up.
And what about the lighthouse? I spent quite a significant amount of time lighting it up over there. Is there anything about the lighthouse?
I think there's an important lighthouse in Gen 1. In Gen 2, in Olivine City, there's a lighthouse where Jasmine's taking care of like a sick Ampharos, also an electric type Pokemon. And there's a whole arc with that, but I don't know.
A ship, you say?
A ship.
Damn, that's crazy.
I found 2 more Team R grunt journals announcing Team Rocket's plan to build a secret warehouse and recruit scientists and engineers for a villainous top secret mission. They mentioned getting covered in sand, but during my time in Bleak Beach, I didn't encounter any secret Team Rocket hideout. Interesting. The next journal entry details how this grunt was assigned a special mission by their boss to gather a bunch of food and furniture, etc., and how they're annoyed that they're being tasked with a mission at all. So they're trying to find the easiest, lowest effort way to complete their mission. I feel that. Back to our own mission though, we've electrified everything I can think of and Mosslax still won't wake up. But then, just as all hope is about to be lost, our final special character for this area appears to save the day. What's all the commotions? Everyone's gathering around something on that island? Wait, what is this drama? All of the Pokemon are gathering for what? Where am I? Are they okay? Oh no! Yo, you hungry? You know what, Trubbish? As much as I want to make fun of you for asking that, I think it's a valid question. Pikachu is here. She's kind of confused. She's got a little amnesia and has no idea how she magically appeared, but is willing to help us with our electricity problem. The thing is, a Pikachu can't seem to actually generate electricity for a very sad reason. When its friends were sick, this Pokemon repeatedly shared its own electricity with them. As a result, its physical structure changed and it became unable to generate electricity. The remainder of the Mosslax quest is spent helping Pikachu get her spark back. We power up this pad thing and she's able to light up the whole town. However, it's still not enough to wake up Mosslax's lazy ass. Lucky us, another legendary Pokemon appears. Wowie, who could have guessed? Oh my god. Okay, I guess that's what we needed. Everybody meet Raikou, the legendary Pokemon that made Bleak Beach a little less bleak. Thank God. Raikou doesn't know what happened to the humans, but is aware of the natural disasters that occurred, and mentions that the clouds were around while the humans were here. Professor Tangrowth is adamant, though, on asking Mosslax if they know anything. Poor thing got struck by lightning and now has to go through questioning. Mosslax was around when the humans were. They used to chase off naughty, troublemaking Pokemon and get food from the humans in return. But but the humans eventually started running out of food in general. Probably because, you know, the disasters. It wasn't totally confirmed until later on for me, but Bleak Beach definitely had some hurricanes, and that's why it looks like this. At this point, I'm definitely wanting more information on the Pokemon Conservation Project. I really want to know why all these Pokemon are just reappearing after all this time. And we still don't have an exact time estimate as to how much of it has passed since the humans left. And I would like to know that. Yeah, Bleak Beach, it's been real. I've been so focused on waking up Mosslax and rebuilding the Pokemon Center and swimming with Piplup that I missed a ton of stuff here on my first go. Later, I came back to fully explore and found the secret little farm thing, the little island, and the SSN. Oh my god, I don't even know what all this stuff is, but geez, this is a lot more elaborate than I was expecting. I didn't even think we could just go to the distant ship offshore in Bleak Beach. That's awesome.
What happens on the SSN? What?
Just kidding. I don't remember a lot besides the fact that you go through the trash a lot and find items. You battle trainers. There's like chefs and stuff that work on the ship that want to battle you.
Is it a cruise ship? Like what kind of ship is this? Is it just like where sailors hang out?
No, I think it's a cruise ship, but it's also like a means to get from Vermilion City to other islands in the Kanto region.
Damn, that's crazy.
When you hit your 5th, damn, that's crazy, and he's still going.
However, there's a new unexplored area gate in Bleak Beach that is now unlocked, leading us to our final and perhaps a biggest area yet, Sparkling Skylands. This place is crazy. I don't even know where to start with describing Sparkling Skylands. It's a cluster of islands in the sky, I guess is a good place to start. The ground is all upheaved and disturbed. There's a bunch of recycled materials, scrap metal blocks, paved roads that don't make sense because the ground is all wonky, and lifts that take you from island to island. It's the remnants of an advanced city. I'm very curious to find out what happened here.
Sparkling Skylands is based off of Saffron City, I think, but I also keep seeing stuff about Celadon City online and in human records. Care to explain?
That's the very city-like one, right? I think it makes sense as those two cities are like as city-y as you can get.
And is there anything significant about these places that we need to know?
In Celadon City, there's the department store. You can buy everything, including like the Firestone, Waterstone, Leafstone. Evolve your...
For the EVs?
For the EVs. For the EVs.
Okay, that's really great, but do you know why they are up in the sky now?
Nope.
Well, that is what we are here to find out.
The Sparkling Skylands main quest took me 2 long streams to tackle. This area has a lot to it. We learned to fly, or rather glide, because we can't really fly up, but glide makes it easier to travel from one island to another, and just in general, thank you, Dragonite. While this area does have some working lifts, most of them aren't connected to one another. So with the help of our newest special character friend, Tinkmaster, a Tinkaton who loves building things, we can get to work reconnecting lifts and stuff. Of course, we're gunning to rebuild the Pokemon Center here as well, but this area's main quest has us fixing up the tallest building in the Skylands, floor by floor. The first floor's not bad, but the second, third, and fourth definitely need a little Tinkmaster magic, I guess. Each area has provided us with lots of new materials to add to our ever-growing collection of stuff. Concrete, glass, Pokemetal, the list goes on and on. The material demand got really overwhelming really fast. Not only do I need to amass a ton of the new stuff, but I also have to have a good supply of materials that we gained access to in previous areas. I was just constantly running back and forth from Rocky Ridge, where my smelters are, all spread out across the map, Withered Wasteland, where most of my storage is, and then the chests are all disorganized. I don't even have homes established in all these areas for easy fast travel. I need to get it together. After like 4 hours of nonsense, we finally began the rebuild of the second floor in the Skylands building, as well as the Pokemon Center. I had the most fun exploring the Skylands, for sure. There's so many secrets hidden around the Skylands that are just delightful to stumble upon. Underground plumbing systems. Gardevoir showed me to a Team Rocket hideout connected to a Pokemetal cave. We learned how to create elevators. Cool shit, you guys. Back to our story. The first human record I found in the Skylands Skylands was from the professor, who you'll remember is Tangrowth's human. We learned a little bit more about how they linked up in a journal I found randomly in Withered Wastelands too. The professor found Tangela and nursed it back to health, which just it warms my heart so much to know that Tangrowth was once loved and cherished like that. This journal entry, however, wasn't so heartwarming. Something shocking has happened. The Pokemon Conservation Project is progressing smoothly, and the time came for my Tangela to join the others. In the hopes of avoiding a tearful scene, I waited until my grandchild was asleep before entrusting Tangela to one of the other project members, but later that night, I received word that Tangela had run off. Professor Tangrowth, they didn't want to follow their destiny. Tangela was like family. He should have been accustomed to humans. How could this have happened? I have a theory. Tangela was likely trying to get back to our home, but it's nearly time for my family to set off for space. Even if Tangela were to make it safely home, by the time he arrives, we'll no longer be there. I feel agonizingly helpless knowing there's nothing I can do. Nothing, that is, but hope that the project staff find Tangela and keep him safe. Oh my god! Poor Tangela got left behind. Professor Tangrowth has trauma. I am gonna end it all. I hate it here. But wait, it gets worse. The day of departure finally arrived, and Tangela was still nowhere to be found, so I decided to join the survey team after all. Fuck you, Professor, for leaving Tangela behind. It will give me the opportunity to return to the planet periodically, and I can search when I'm there. If there are any strange machines or rare tools on the ship, I should borrow them. Then I'll find Tangela and show them to him. I'm certain he'll examine them with usual curiosity. Until then, please be safe. Oh, I know he didn't want to leave Tangela behind, but it's still really fucked up that he did it. And I'm kind of mad at the professor. Yeah, I'll say it. I'm kind of mad. I know that the professor didn't want to necessarily leave him behind, and they clearly loved Tangela, but I cannot help myself. I am a little upset. Yeah, I'll just be mad for Professor Tangrowth, because that is really crazy and really messed up. There were 2 Team R grunt journals that I found today as well. The Secret of Team R's Warehouse. Of course, I can't spill all the beans, but I could spill some of them. This grunt is so sassy and silly. You've probably heard the rumors about having all the humans evacuate into outer space. Well, our boss tells me that the rumors are true, but apparently they don't want Team R doing bad stuff in outer space, so they're gonna split us up and send us all to different areas. Not cool, people. I do think that's kind of discriminatory. Maybe I'm on Team Rocket's side, but our boss has us covered. Turns out that warehouse is actually Team R's secret weapon for getting us into outer space together. I cried happy tears. Our boss rules! How are we gonna get to outer space on our own, you ask? Well, I can't tell you that. I love that Team Rocket said, screw you guys, we're gonna find our own way to space. That's so the Team Rocket of them. The grunt details in another journal how they're still trying to get somebody to do their resource gathering mission for them. Love the determination. I'm on the edge of my seat here. Like I said, it took me about 2 days to get through all of these quests, mostly because rebuilding the Skylands building was a 3-parter, and there's an hour wait in between build times. No biggie. I have plenty of stuff to do to keep myself busy, like Machoke roller coaster and trying to attract my favorite Pokemon of all time, Mime Jr., to come to the sparkling Skylands. This habitat also has a chance of attracting Mr. Mime. We don't talk about Mr. Mime. The second floor is restored. It's a school, classroom, play place. I don't know why I'm surprised. I guess I just thought it would be a mall or something.
What do you think this building is? I mean, I played some Pokemon. This isn't really giving department store to me, even though there's human records mentioning department store. Do you have any theories?
Okay, well, this building seems like it's really tall. And you mentioned Saffron City earlier, so I feel like it could be Silphco, maybe? Silphco is the building that Team Rocket uses as their hideout. I could see why each floor has maybe a nursery for kids, like this one. There's a cafeteria, which you'd see at maybe a giant corporation. I don't know, stuff like that.
Maybe it's just a reference to a lot of things. Maybe it is just Celadon department store.
Could be.
Damn. That's crazy.
Our last 2 floors require us to recruit the help of some special characters in other areas, Chef Dente and Pikachu, and an assload of materials and Pokemon labor. It took a while, is what I'm getting at. While I got around to doing a whole bunch of stuff in my downtime, this Hacker's Confession, number 6 human record, is what I really want to discuss. In order to escape the disaster, humanity would temporarily take refuge in space while Pokemon would be safely stored in a computer system. But no computer system will keep running forever. The Foundation planned to send a select few members back back to the planet at regular intervals to perform ongoing maintenance. But for humanity to survive in space for any length of time, it would take a tremendous amount of energy. I calculated that even a slight deviation from the original plan would result in insufficient energy to return, leaving humankind stranded in space for dozens or even hundreds of years. If that happened, the essential system protecting the Pokemon would eventually cease to function. So I decided to add a little touch of my own to the system's programming. First, it will continuously check the weather data across the globe in search of environments that can prove even slightly habitable to Pokemon. Next, if maintenance is not performed for a long period of time and the system begins to approach its limits, it will release the Pokemon most suited to those environments. Wait, is that low-key like kind of what's happening right now? This hacker, their exact plan is coming to fruition. Gosh, I love people who like think ahead and are just planners like that. Yes. Of course, ideally humans will return someday and live alongside Pokemon once more. But on the off chance humanity never returns from space, I think releasing the Pokemon into a wild world rather than leaving them asleep in a computer would be a happier outcome. And he was right. He was right. Or she. Okay, maybe she could be a freaky hacker chick. It may sound strange coming from the program's creator, but I hope it never has to run. Guys, I think it's running right now. I am glad that there was a failsafe. Release the Pokemon from the PC if the humans can't return. That way, at least Pokemon life has a chance to continue on Earth. It makes me kind of wonder if the humans really are stranded in space. All of the floors in the Skyland building are complete. The third floor is a cute little restaurant, and the fourth floor is all fancy pants and elegant. But just as it was all finished, you already know some craziness goes down. What are we waiting for? Let's take a look inside, Lissy. Oh my, what was that just now? This building, what is happening here? What the heck's that voice? I hear it coming from above. Oh my, there's something very odd happening in the sky. Ah! I believe someone was moving on the roof just now. Lissy, go check out the roof. Hey, Lissy here. It's Mario. Okay, who do you guys think is in the Master Ball or the Mario Ball? It's Mewtwo, baby! Let's go!
Okay, Mewtwo's like God, right?
He's like God Jr., because there's another God.
Arceus?
It's actually Arceus, as
Actually.
officially confirmed by Pokemon.
Well, actually, I think it's Arceus. I also think it's pronounced Rayquaza, not Rayquaza. Okay, I heard that there is a meme about Bidoof being God. So who do you think would win in a fight? 100 Bidoofs or 1 Mewtwo?
A debate as old as time. I'm taking the Bidoofs. You know what? I think 10 Bidoofs could do it.
Damn, that's crazy.
I was concerned that humans might be using the power of their so-called science in unwise ways again, but to hear that this large building was erected by Pokemon is quite a surprise. Yeah, please tell me, what do you know about the humans? I do not know. Oh, okay. The last time I saw a human was in a city where rain no longer fell. I believe it was called Fuchsia. They were putting up a peculiar building on a nearby beach. I think it highly likely that they were plotting something nefarious. Nefarious building on a beach. Remember the team initiation challenge? You know, the progression-based fetch quests we have in the Withered Wasteland? That is where we're gonna tie it all together. Now I know I have been kind of blazing through this playthrough. I am missing a ton of stuff in my mission to complete the story, but I promise you, I have been seriously hooked on this game. I love pretty much every aspect. The initial exploration, the quests, while they follow a pretty straight and narrow formula, have been great. Although that's what has interested me the most, I am still finding time to rebuild the towns and make houses for my little Pokemon. I love it all. There's so much that I didn't touch on in this video because there is just so much to this game. But there's also quite a few human records that I haven't discovered yet. And while it would be cool to go out and find them all, most of the ones that I'm missing, I believe, are just fun little Pokemon lore Easter eggs. I haven't yet found all of the main characters' human records, so we're gonna do that now before we see the finale. We already know how the professor had to abandon poor Professor Tangrowth back when they were just a little Tangela in service of the Pokemon Conservation Project, and well, to escape the natural disasters on the planet with the rest of humanity, frankly. And the hacker lent their skills to the project and created a failsafe in case things in space went south. But I missed 2 Pokolife dev diary entries. Number 3 details how the Foundation started backing the efforts of the Pokemon Conservation Project, which brought our dev a lot of hope for society society and helped them really get life off the ground. The final dev diary, number 5, isn't as hopeful, however. In the most unfortunate turn of events, Pokolife never received a chance to be put to use. The drastic deterioration of the global environment continues, and the plan to evacuate all of humanity into space has finally been put into action. Efforts have begun to gather as many Pokemon as possible from all over the world and send them into the Pokemon Center system for safekeeping. I was unable to make my dream a reality, but there is at least one silver lining in all of this. Even after we humans leave this planet, the Pokemon Center system will remain active in order to keep all of the Pokemon inside safe. The system will also keep a record of environmental data around each Pokemon Center. The framework we developed for Pokolife will be used for this. The recorded data will be analyzed by research teams set to return from space at regular intervals. They say this is how we will determine when it's safe for all of humanity to return to the planet together. My time here is short. I must soon go to space myself. My new dream will be of the day when humans and Pokemon can once again live together on this planet. We never finished all of someone's journals either. Even though all of our Pokemon centers are rebuilt, I kind of keep forgetting to go inside of them. These make me super sad, man. This someone, our trainer, was going around and revisiting all the places that we had memories together in when we were just wee little baby diddle puddles. This city was a dazzling metropolis the last time I came here with Lissy. Now it's barely recognizable. Apparently the ground in this area has been rising up so quickly that it's caused many of the buildings to collapse and the roads to crack. Some scientists believe that if things continue at this pace, in a matter of centuries, this area will be ... as high as a mountain. In terms of elevation, as high as a mountain in a century? Girl, we're up in the sky. So how long has it been? Oh my God, that's terrible to think about. I get it. The humans had to leave. It sounds like it was pretty bad here. I mean, everything looked like shit before I started doing all my restoration and rebuilding, so I can only imagine the urgency the humans must have felt to try to save themselves. This is kind of silly, but a few days after I finished Pokopia, I saw Project Hail Mary. And well, you know, the parallels are definitely there. Mostly the space stuff and the save humanity themes, etc. And then the Artemis 2 mission. I'm feeling very emotional about space right now. It's not totally confirmed, in my opinion at least, that the human shenanigans accelerated the climate disasters on this planet. But again, if they're anything like us humans, hell yeah they did. It must have been all those furnaces and utility poles on Bleak Beach. Where are they extracting fossil fuels in Kanto? Am I gonna stumble upon a giant data center somewhere in Pokopia? I'm just asking. By now we have uncovered what all of the specific disasters in each region were. There was a drought in Withered Wasteland, volcanic eruptions in Rocky Ridge, hurricanes and perpetual darkness in Bleak Beach, crazy ass earthquakes that raised the ground and the sky in sparkling Skylands. I mean, I'm no climate change expert, not pretending to be. Perhaps there is a mixture of causes. You know, maybe there's not one exact entity to blame. I wouldn't be surprised if we learned that some of this ecological unrest was caused by a legendary Pokemon either. Those guys cause lots of trouble all the time. Why am I so adamant on it being a Pokemon's fault? That's kind of crazy of me. Regardless, it's not 100% spelled out for us for a reason. We're able to kind of come to our own conclusions as to what caused the disasters. What's important is that it was bad enough to cause the humans to come to the conclusion that they needed to leave the Earth altogether. While all of this is very depressing, not all hope is lost. We achieved in Pokopia perhaps the greatest accomplishment in all human and Pokemon history. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Mime Jr. Oh! Yes! Sorry. That was really loud. Mime Jr. is my favorite Pokemon of all time. I'm so happy. War is over. Yeah, Mime Jr. is just gonna come with me everywhere I go. That was really my plan with all of this. Look how cute it hopped. And it walked down the stairs and it just go doo 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 doo. I'm so happy it wasn't ugly fuck ass Mr. Mime. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. I would have acted up. Somebody said in stream not too long ago, they were like, "You're very solo. Why don't you walk around with a Pokemon ever?" And I thought, well, that's rude. Just kidding. I thought, you know what? Yeah, why don't I walk around with any Pokemon ever? And I think it was because I was waiting. I was waiting for the right one. Mime Jr. is just too cute. And if you don't believe me, just go ahead and go to youtube.com, type in Mime Jr. compilation and report back. Now it's time to take on our final task, the team initiation challenge. I kind of forgot to be contributing to this, so a little behind here. But most of the 8 challenges total were a piece of cake. Sure, sometimes I'd have to wait for bars to be smelted and power generators to be constructed, but it really wasn't too bad until we got to part 7.
3 hours later.
That took me a while because I actually had to do stuff like house Pokemon and raise the environment level. The final team initiation challenge. Turn in one cherished photo, a sentimental one, a photo that means the world to you. This picture better be something really special. Of course, I'm gonna choose the Mime Jr. selfie. Like, duh. The team initiation challenge is complete. So now we celebrate. The recording asked me to bring over party poppers. An odd request, but I was rewarded with some early on in the game and had no idea what to do with them. So I guess this is what they were for. Clunk. The delivery hatch is completely full. You weren't able to deliver the party poppers, huh? Hello, Lissy. I just couldn't get this building off my mind, so I came to investigate a bit more. How goes it? Did you learn anything about the building? Honestly, no. I've sort of been just chatting with an automated messaging system. Ho 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 ho. Ah, Lissy. Party poppers are no good if you just shut them away. Let me show you how to use them. Oh, I'm learning how to have fun and how to be whimsical. Just like that. All right, now let's pull the strings. Ready, set. Oh, wait, that was really cute, but what's happening? Emergency, emergency. We may be under attack. What's happening? Did I do something wrong? No, we were just popping it. Initiating emergency evacuation protocol. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, blast. Oh my God, it was a spaceship this whole time. Oh my goodness. They're going up to the humans. Wait, take us with you? Oh, so it wasn't a lighthouse and it wasn't a power plant. It was a rocket after all. The rocket blasts off into space as the Pokemon all gather and watch it go. I'm like devastated because I'm thinking, shit, did I just blow our only chance of reuniting with the humans when I unknowingly let this ship blast off into space? But Tangrowth's hopeful. Maybe the humans will see it. He's still holding on to that hope that they'll return. And then we roll credits. Oh my God, my heart, it hurts.
Alex, do you have any thoughts on Pokopia's story?
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
Thank you for sitting down with me and enlightening us on all of the Pokemon lore.
Pleasure was mine. That'll be $20.
No.
All right.
And Tangrowth's hope might be justified with a little scene that plays out during the credits. We see a space pod with a Ditto, and a human-shaped spacesuit emerges to investigate our ship after its incredible journey. And you know what the first thing they find is? Our photo. I love that Mime Jr. and I are immortalized in space forever. We really sent our best, that's for sure. I have my suspicions that there is a good chance that the humans are long gone. How do we know that the spaceman was actually a human and not a transformed Ditto like ourselves? It's a little bit open-ended. I like to think that maybe Ditto was the fail-safe plan after all. Maybe we were released from the PC first to help save Pokemon kind and restore the planet. I'm not certain that the humans have been gone for centuries, but if they have been, maybe they're not around anymore. Ditto's in charge now, and hey, maybe that's for the best. We've been kind of killing it. After the credits wrap, we find a lone Magnemite in the pit where the spaceship emerged. They're just chilling down there. Apparently, they watched some sketchy humans build this rocket back in the day and have just been down here ever since. Aw. Magnemite here gives us the ultimate power. The best move in the game was saved for last. Magnet Rise changes everything. I'm actually so excited to restore the areas and build and decorate now. This is a godsend. But there is one glaring part of the story that I didn't piece together until now. Something so obvious, but had literally never occurred to me the entire time I was doing this team initiation challenge. Not when the rocket was going to space, never. Upon further examination of the pit, we find the Team Rocket hideout. I can't believe it. This is what the Team R Grunt was referring to. This is the mission that they were tricking some poor dumb soul into doing. All of the resource gathering that they were trying to pawn off on some sucker sucker. I'm the sucker. So much was going on that I forgot that I initially suspected. Of course, it's pretty obvious that the team initiation project was related to Team Rocket. I did this grunt's job for them, potentially hundreds of years in the future. Damn you, Team R Grunt. That little... He got me good, didn't he?